Let me welcome you to all uh, the third event of Kuwait OutSystem User Group, a deep dive into the development of progressive web app. Um, shall we start recording so that?
I did. I started recording.
Okay, fine. So, yeah, first of all, thank you also. Thank you for joining us. It means a lot for us to, show your support. So let me introduce myself. I'm Neha George. I'm a business solution developer in OutSystem platform for nearing 5 years, and we have with us Mohammad Riaz. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm working as a business solution developer in ATC.
and we have our mentor Katrina Pereira from OutSystems community event manager. Like she couldn't join us, but since she's busy with something else, so like we are mentioning her also here. And without further ado, just move on to the agenda. So agenda for today is this is actually a very short session. We'll wind it up very soon. So what is PWA, Progressive Web App? How to build progressive web app using OutSystems, deploy and distribute PWA apps, benefits of PWA, technical aspects, native mobile West progressive web app, when to choose this PWA, and Q&A. So what are progressive web apps? So before moving into a detailed you know explanation of PWA, let's discuss some points of the known applications like mobile app and web app. So let's take a web app first. So like how we can access a web app. Like we can access through a URL, right? So we can access web application through URLs, yes, through an URL from anywhere in the world. But is it possible to access it without any connectivity, or if there is any weak, if we have any weak network, is how reliable is our web applications to access? It has some limitations, like we cannot access it without any connectivity, right? At the same time, if we take mobile applications, how can we access it? First, we need to install the application. Then, if we take the distribution part, like we need to depend on a third party. We need to pay them, like Google, to distribute our mobile applications in Google Play Store or Apple for Apple Store. So this process is not a very straightforward process, or it is a hectic part. So and when it comes to OSs, like we need a different code base for Android OS and different code base for iOS. So these are some of the difficulties we face on using these two application type of applications. And again, if we take web applications, like if we ask, like we can use this web applications in mobile, yes, we can use it. Through the URL from the mobile browser, we can access it. But the question is, we can we access like the native features of the mobile app, like like camera, GPS, or the file systems? So no, it's a no. So these are the disadvantages we face when we develop web applications and mobile applications. So here comes the significance of progressive web app. Progressive web app is actually a solution for all these disadvantages we discuss now. It can be a bridge to gap bridge to solve the gap between the mobile app and the web app. It's actually a cooler version. We can take it as like a cooler version of mobile app and web app. So let's discuss one by one. Um, the benefits. Actually, progressive web app is nothing but a web app. We can access it through the URL, or we can actually install it in our system also. So the main catch is like we can access a progressive app using offline, like without any connectivity. So first benefit is offline availability. So this app we can consider it as a most reliable one because we can access it in without network, with weak network, such things. So when it comes to the performance, it gives high performance because PWA offers, like, it caches the data on its first load itself, so the other users can actually load the data pretty much faster. When it comes to the discoverability, uh, what is discoverability means, we can install the PWA in our mobile or in our systems. So just like any other native applications, we can see our applications in the home screen. So it's easy to locate us, and because and this search engine optimizing feature, SEO feature is also high in the progressive web app. So when we move to the connectivity means the progressive web app actually uh,
It
we can
can
actually if we take the web applications, we cannot access many of the native features of mobile, right? So PWA enables us to use some of the native applications like mobile app, like camera, GPS, and file systems. I'm stressing the point, only the sum of the native features, not all the native features of the mobile. So here, PWA ensures the connectivity, like of some of the features of native mobile app for our applications. And again, this PWA, like through PWA, our versions, the latest versions, we don't need to download or update the versions of the our applications. It will be automatically updated. Then comes to re-engaging. So when we take the web applications, the user engagement is very less. Like we cannot actually have push notifications to the mobile when we use web applications. So through PWA, progressive web app, this push notifications can be enabled. Like so, user engagement is more in push on this progressive web app. So when it comes to the business benefits, it's reduce cost. How it can reduce cost is the single uh, source code can be used for more than many platforms, like Android and iOS, and easy deployment. Deployment is easy, as in the distribution, the overhead of distributions, those things are not there. Then, as we discuss the user engagement, like through push notifications, we can achieve this we can have more user engagements. No store fees, like as we discussed, we don't need to install it, or we can just directly use access the PWS using URLs. Then smaller size. Yeah, this PWA app is less than 1 MB size, and large reach. Yeah, as we discussed, the search engine SEO. That SEO is like SEO is more powerful for this PWAs compared to any other native applications, and high conversion rate is there for PWA. So actually, how this PWA, these features are made possible for PWA is it is actually built and enhanced with modern APIs. So these modern APIs, these APIs are responsible to interact with any native features that push notifications. So those things are made available through this API. So progressive web app is just another web applications, like web app, like we can either use through the URL or you can install in your systems. So these are the advantages of using PWA over native mobile app or web applications. So now we'll move on, and this is the future. So even the Twitter, the Starbucks, or Uber shares their user experiences while using this progressive web apps. So this is one of the happening thing in the future. Now we'll move on to building the progressive web app using OutSystems. So I'll switch my share screen to Mohammed Riaz. So over to you, Mohammed.
Yep. So let's see how we can build PWAs using OutSystems, or how we can enable PWAs using OutSystems. Okay. Now, as Neha told, we have three type of applications. One is web application. One we have as normally we have a native Android or iOS application, or we can call native mobile applications. PWAs can stand in between the web and the mobile application, as we have the advantages of both the applications combined to one. Now we understood how the PWA works. So let's go in deep how we can install or how we can develop PWAs using OutSystems. Okay, so this is the phase where we can convert our mobile application to a PWA or progressive web application in OutSystems. If you see, if you have any mobile application, you will have an extra tab which is after the develop tab. You can call, you will get it as distribute tab. From here, this phase, we can generate the native applications. And over the right side, you can see the progressive web applications. That means we can enable this mobile application which has been developed using our systems and distribute as a PWA. So your work is just to enable or to check this mark to distribute as PWA. Let's see how it can be done. See, I have an application called Task Manager. So in our application list, we have a lot of applications, and we are going to take one mobile application. Within the mobile application, I can see the distribute tab. So as we all know, we have a native
Hello,
platforms where we
hello.
can generate. Yeah.
Your screen is not visible, right?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for informing that. Now, are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we have our Service Studio, and in Service Studio, we'll have multiple applications. We'll have a web application, reactive or traditional, or even mobile applications. So keep in mind, we can enable PWA only for the mobile application. Let's take this mobile application as an example. So once we go to the mobile application, we open it, we can see the modules. Over here, we can see the two tabs. One is for develop and one for distribute. So distribute tab, we have two things. One is for native platforms. This is a part where we can generate the native applications. But our concern is for the PWA now. So in right side, you can see the PWA section. If you want to enable any mobile application as PWA, you just have to enable this button. So once we enable this button, you can see this as a PWA, like it is can be distributed as PWA, where it will be showing a screen QR code. While just scanning this QR code, you can install this application to your mobile, or you can go to, it will navigate to the web part of it. From web application, you can install to your mobile. and you can use it as a normal application. For time being, what I did, I recorded the screen recorder. I using recorder to record the options or this feature, so it will be easy to show. So in mobile or iOS, in iOS mobile. So I took an Android as an example. I just let me show it. Yep. Okay, I'm scanning that QR code. Once we scan the QR code, we're gonna get the URL for this application. On clicking on the URL, it will navigate us to the normal application we open in our web browser or the mobile browser. If you can see the down part and to the bottom, you can see one more extra notification or pop-up. It has been shown for you like add task manager to the home screen. Here task manager is our application name, and let's see, I'll tell you in details how it can be added. Before that, let's go through the application. Now keep in mind this application is now loaded over the web. So the PWAs we can load web or we can use it as a normal application. Now these are the features of this application. We have it's like a task management application where we will have a project, build a task, and those features. We are not going in depth how it has been working, just to show it. Okay. Now this is the phase where we can install it. Like as I shown before, this is the button over here. Once you click on that, it will take you to the installation process. Once I click on that, it is asking me to install it or cancel as like a normal application. When we install some application, there's the same procedure. So I just clicked on install, and you can see it in the notification, the installation status. We're still installing of this application. It's the normal security scan systems. And so after that, we are opening this application. Now, if you see, this application has been loaded to our home screen as an icon, application icon to our home screen. We can access now. We don't have to go to the URL to access the application. We can directly access the application through the menu itself as a normal native application has how it can be shown for us.
This is what we call discoverability feature.
So if you see here, you can see the same data which was available in the web browser to the as application itself. So all the features work without any issues, and it still has the option to use for it. I'll come to in the deep how it is. Now let's see. This is a second feature or the main features advantage of the PWA. The PWAs can work without internet. That means we need to enable the offline caching or the synchronization or the local database usage of local database. Even if we enable it, we have the option to work or use this PWAs without internet. And once the internet is available, we need to implement the offline synchronization, so it will be so we can make sure the data is correct and we can use it in online or even offline. So now I will turn off my Wi-Fi or the network internet connection. Sorry. Okay. Let me turn out the internet connection. And I'm opening the same application and you can see that application works fine. There's no issue, and the same data which has been cached before it is available with us. That means this data has been stored in our local database. Once the connection to the internet is happening, it is synchronization is happening and the saving the data to our local database, so that we can get all the data before we had before the internet connection was lost, and we can perform our actions. We can add new item or we can do any transactions, and this transaction is going to be saved in the local database. But keep in mind, we need to create these features. We need to create the local synchronization and the workflow for that one. So once we do that, yeah, this data will be available online. Like once the internet comes back, like the connection is been stable, this data will automatically sync with our DB, so that the data will consistency will be there. And so if you open in the browser also, you can see the same data. So these are the some of features which is for PWA. So main feature of PWA is like we don't need a distributed channel. Like we don't have to distribute through the Android Play Store or the iOS App Store or not. We can download this application directly from our browser. We have the URL. We can use the application from our browser as a normal web application, or we can install this application to our system or to our device and use it as a normal application, which has a tiny space. It will use a tiny space. Actually, it will not be that much huge spaces for the normal application. So yeah, these are the main thing how we can enable the PWA in our systems. Let's see the difference or the capabilities. What can happen with the PWA? What cannot be happen with PWA? Like a comparison. So if you see the first one, the multi-platform. Yes, PWA is a multi-platform. If you see a native app, it is not a multi-platform. We need to build an application for, especially for Android or iOS, whatever devices is having. We need to build it, or we need to go for the hybrid option. Even though, so the but web, okay, through URL, if with any platform, we can access it. For the smooth performance, as a native application, yes, it has a smooth performance. But web, it is not support. It might not be responsive, or the issues. There might be some issues related for each screen sizes and all. But PWA, it is smooth performance, responsive at all. It has a offline capability, yes, for native application. But for web application, no, we need to have an internet connection overall so we can use it. But PWA, we can use it as offline. Is it installable? Yeah, only the native application. But web application we cannot install unless we convert it as a PWA. Notification can be enabled, yes, on the native, but it's not from web. So there are some disadvantages for the web application and some for the native application. But in PWA, we are combining or we are come across for these disadvantages. Like some of the features like the native features like GPS, camera, all those stuff cannot be enabled from the web as normal. You have a JavaScript course for that. We can, but we need to. We don't get the same feeling like when we are using as a native application. So PWA, we can use it as it will be similar to the native application. There's no app store requirement. The discoverable is much more higher compared to the native, because native application we need to check in the stores, but PWA it will be available through online through the browser. So SEO can be find these applications and we can it will be reachable, easily reachable. And it whether it has a shareable link with native application, no, we need to share or we need to get it from the stores. But web we have, but and the PWA we can. And storage requirements, it's high in the native application. In the web, as it is loading in the server or it's working with the server, it's not having any effect, or we don't have to save anything on our devices. In the PWA, considering PWA, the storage capacity or the application size will be much more lower. And the complexity of development for the native applications, yes, it's much more higher, because when we have multiple platform, we need to generate or we need to develop for each separate code base for each platform. But for web, okay, it can be like same because it's a browser, but PWA it's very low. Means it like we generate from the web and it can be used for any platform. So that's it about PWA. I hope everyone understood it. It's a short event. So if you have, let's go through that. Any point you need to discuss more? If you have any questions, we can go through it. And there is a lot of other deep level of understanding about PWA. There are a lot of courses available in our systems. If we have some deep level in our understanding or customizing the PWA, where we can have our application logos, application names, how it should be behaving, enabling the push notification, lot of steps we can do it. There is something called manifesto, where we can configure our PWA applications. If you have any questions, you can go through chat or you can enable or unmute your mic, and you can speak about it.
One question.
Google Sign, but it's possible to use mobile application. We can use Google Sign. Actually, I didn't understand your question. Web and mobile application, we can use Google Sign in, but is it possible using? Yeah, it is. Normal signing or to an applications. Yeah, we can enable that feature directly. Like I mean, I think you are asking about the authentication. We can enable authentications. Now, like it is like what we can do with the web application, it can be done with PWA. What we can do with the native application, we can do,
Right.
but some limitation will be there to exact to the deep core native application capabilities. But whatever we can do with the web application, yes, you can do it there. And the 90% of the mobile native applications can be covered with PWA. So that's the reason now big companies they started moving to PWAs because they don't have to keep the code base different for each platform. So and it's much more easier to shareable with the users, and users like it because they don't have to download from the App Store or the Play Store and keep updating it. Yeah, it's like once we have any updates or any features been enabled, once we move to the production, we don't have to redeploy it. Like as a native
Okay.
application, we need to, if we have any changes on application, we need to redeploy to the store, and the user need to update the application to get these features. But for the PWAs, once we publish it, that's it. The users can directly get the benefit from these new features. Thank you, Sama. Thank you, Najla.
Thank you, Najla.
I hope everything is clear. Thank you, Anis, Muhammad Anis. Thank you,
Thank
Muhammad
you for
Ibrahim.
your time.
Thank you, Muhammad Nisar. So we can conclude our event.
Yes.
Let's see with something interesting on the
Yeah.
next
Do
event.
you have any thoughts for the next event?
Any
Because
specific
every three
topic?
months we are planning to have it. If you are interested, speaker also, so you guys can contact us, or you can even host an event. So you if you have mm,
The upcoming events
topics,
topics, yeah.
you can please feel free
Like
to
if you feel
share.
like yeah, we want to learn about something more in deep about some specific topic in our systems, you can suggest those.
Continue with mobile app topics is what Anis says.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah, we'll
we'll
consider that.
suggest it. Yeah, we'll consider it because now we are done with two or three events now.
Three,
It was
this
the basic events. Now we'll start going in deep of each offline technology. Okay, offline things.
offline
Great.
sync.
Yeah, we'll continue
Sure.
with in depth of each one. So from next level, next event onwards, it will be in-depth technical one, which can be useful for the intermediate or the experts in our systems. That's not the beginners.
Push
Great.
notifications with demo.
Sure, it
Sure.
is. You can make push notifications like one part. It's like one event itself. We can confirm.
Yeah.
No worries. Next, take these things. Mobile app. Right. Thank you all. Let's meet in next event. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thank you so much.